Hey everybody, it's Jason McClaren with the Leadership Loading Podcast. Today we're talking about leadership and being tech ready. And our guest today is Adeel Butt, and he is the owner of TekRevi. He used to work as an electrical engineer and at Brookhaven National Laboratory and became a test engineer at the LSI and CSI Computer Systems and an electrical engineer intern at Rockwell Automation. So been in the electrical engineering side for a good while now. But now he's broke out and started his own business called TekRevi, where he helps businesses transform, scale, and grow by developing personalized software applications. So we'll talk a little bit about that and how if you're trying to start your own business or break out of the sector you're in, maybe he can help us out with that. So Adeel, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Jason.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into electrical engineering?
Well, I graduated in 2014 from Stony Brook University in electrical engineering as a valedictorian. After that, I actually worked as a software engineer for a big financial institution in New York City. So I worked there for a couple of years, like 2-3 years. And after sometimes I realized this job industry is not for me. And that's when I started TekRevi. And it's been going on since then.
All right, so your TekRevi is a software development company and consulting. So speaking of the software development side, how do you help businesses move on and build the software they need?
Well, TekRevi helps like people develop technology solutions for businesses. So mostly our clients come to us with an idea and we take that ideas, we research their industry, and then we plan their project accordingly. And it's a lot of back and forth with the client, and then we provide them with the best solution for their business. We develop all the full stack application, web and mobile application for businesses for internal or external working.
All right, and for those of us that aren't tech savvy, what does full stack mean? Because I've always seen that, but I didn't know what it stood for.
Well, when you look at the web application, you're just looking at the front of the web application, which we call it a front end. You're looking at the website, but the website is not working by itself. There's a server which it is communicating regularly. We call it backend. And in backend, there's also a database where all the data is stored and managed. So when we say full stack, we talk about front end, developing a front end application which the user sees, and the backend application, which is the processing hub of any application and a data management system.
Definitely, and I see you guys do application development. So anyone trying to get into the application field, I know that's kind of a big trend right now is people developing apps for different things. So what would be the first step, or what do they need to know before they contact you to get going on that?
Before the what?
Before they get going on their app.
Well, they should first, before you even start developing an app, you should know what you want to achieve, what your end goal is. You should have your business logic together, because many times people think coding is the hard part, but coding, in my opinion, is the easiest part. You need to know what you have, what is the problem, and you need to solve the problem before you even write a single word of line of a code. So whoever is looking to develop an app, I would really suggest like define your problem. Like I have a good problem definition, then come up with a solution, and then you start writing with the code.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that napkin idea. You always hear people draw their idea on a napkin before they go and make their business plan or whatever. It's kind of the same thing. You want to have a rough idea of what you want before you start trying to build it.
Right, exactly.
All right, and on the Q&A and testing, so obviously QA is quality assurance, right?
Quality assurance and testing, yeah. Yes.
So y'all do that for the websites and the apps and kind of make sure everything's running right?
Yes, that is one of the part in our software development life cycle. So what we do after we develop, we test our application rigorously. So we create automated testing. So we test each and every line of our code before we deploy it.
So what kind of leadership functions have you learned building your own business, and what kind of hurdles have you faced building this out and helping others build their own solutions?
Well, when it comes to leadership, you have to step up. Like, you have to lead by example. That's what I will say first. If you are not the one putting in work, or you're not the one coming up with the solution, there will be nobody who will come up, or you can have anybody on your team, but they will not be able to perform if you're not performing, if you're not coming up with the solution. And along the way, when you become an entrepreneur, when you decide to leave your job and go on a journey, it's a really tough journey. You'll hear a lot of no's before you hear your yes, and sometimes you'll end up with a client that is bad. Some it drains energy out of you, and it's a really tough journey, but it's rewarding. At the end, it's really rewarding.
Definitely. And so what's your range of clients? Like, say if I'm just starting, or somebody's just starting, what kind of range of, I guess, price would they be looking at just to get in the door?
It all depends on the project. We work with a lot of startup companies. We work with the medium-sized businesses. We also work with the big businesses. So it depends on the project. Some projects are really simple and they don't cost a lot to build, but some are like a huge corporate application, and they take a lot of time and money to build.
Definitely. So, and you guys are based in looks like New York.
Yes, we are based in Long Island, New York, but we work nationally. We work for a whole US. We have a lot of clients in West Coast.
Definitely. I guess with the COVID, everybody learned to kind of virtualize everything, and so it's probably easier to do it that way.
Exactly, and it's more productive. Also, my whole team, ever since the COVID started, is remote. Nobody is working physically in a space, and I feel most of them who really wants to work, they're more productive in that way.
Yeah, and I'm hoping some of our other companies do that, because I think that is a little more productive going that way than everybody commuting in every day.
Exactly right.
All right. So what would be your 1 minute leadership tip if you had 1 minute to tell me on passing me on the train or something? What would you say?
Well, you have to step up and you have to own your mistakes. If somebody else, somebody on your team messes up, it comes on you. So you are the one at the end who's responsible, and you have to own it. When you fail, you have to fail elegantly. So you can't just fail and say, I'm a big loser, I can't do it. You have to fail elegantly. You have to learn from him. You have to accept your mistakes, and you have to keep moving on. You have to keep motivating your team all the time.
Definitely, 100%. And I'm guessing you have to use those motivations all the time in your organization.
Exactly. That's the key. If you every day, like, I try to have like a meeting of 5 to 10 minutes where we motivate each other, like compliment each other on their progress, and it's how like you build a morale over here.
Yeah, I do something similar. We have a morning huddle, I call it, and we all just bring our coffee and put out the fires from the day before, and then see what fires we need to put out for the next day.
Exactly right. Yeah.
All right. So how can somebody get a hold of you if they want to ask you some more questions?
They can reach out to me via email, which is adeel.butt@TekRevi.com, or they can, if they have, they can visit our website www.TekRevi.com, and they can fill out the form, the contact us form, and we'll reach back to them, or they can schedule a call on the website.
Yeah, definitely check out the website TekRevi.com. There's a schedule a call button there, and you can schedule it right there.
Right.
All right. Anything else to do?
That would be it.
Great. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
There are thousands of leadership and management podcasts to choose from. We're glad you chose the Leadership Loading Podcast, a Go Heroes production. If you'd like to support Go Heroes Inc., visit www.goheroes.org. And with that, it's time to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for listening. We sincerely hope you liked it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with your family and friends. Let's all grow together. Thanks for listening to the Leadership Loading Podcast. Leadership Inspired.